Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Happy Easter, everybody. This is Liz Matory, your guest host for the Kevin Jackson Show on KJRadio.com. So, just in time for Easter, there was an op-ed article written by Cardinal Dolan of New York, Wall Street Journal last Friday, highlighting the notion that the Democrats abandon Catholics. And as a Catholic, I was raised Catholic. My mom is from the Philippines, as I said before, and so we're all Catholics. Most of us are. We're either Muslim or Catholic from the Philippines, actually. Most of us are Catholics because, don't forget, the Spanish conquistadores got over there and were there for 300 years, but that's a whole nother story. So I was raised Catholic. My dad's Baptist, but I guess my mom won that conversation. But yeah, so, this week is really huge for all of us Christians around the world. Today, currently, is Good Friday. That's when we believe that Jesus died and was crucified to fulfill the scriptures to save us, and was arisen, 3 days later, which is Easter. So I thought this article was really poignant now, because I used to be a Democrat, as I said before, and being a Catholic and being a Democrat was always difficult, especially when it came to abortion and pro-life. And, a lot of the listeners out there, many of you are pro-life, some of you are pro-choice, and that's really been one of the major shifts to even me personally. Even one of my special friends, for example, he used to be a pro-choice Republican. He, it really, when it hits you and you become pro-life, or you rediscover you believe that life starts at conception, and you learn about biology, and you have the whole conversation on how babies develop. It's very difficult for you to be pro-choice as well. And again, I am not trying to be offensive to anyone, particularly the people, like some of my supporters are pro-choice, and they know that I am now very vocal about being pro-life. But when it comes to an entire party that a lot of Americans of Irish descent came over, and just like black people, just like Jewish people, Irish Americans have always been loyal to the Democrat Party. Now all of a sudden, when you have Tom Perez, saying that no exceptions, you have to be pro-choice, you have to be for a woman's right to choose and the privacy of her body. Again, those are the two fundamental differences for pro-choice and pro-life. We believe that life begins at conception, and then they believe that it's a woman's right to choose, and they have dominion over their body. So therefore, and now even, as I said, on another one of these things is, the Democrat Party now has gone to the extreme. They are pushing all the way up until beyond viability, meaning beyond the 20 weeks, beyond the 35 weeks. A child literally could survive, and they, just because that child is still within the mother's body, they believe that that person gets a right to end the other person's life because it's her choice. And we have to be careful, again, like there's, I'll get back to the article, but, all these words, pro-choice was, I think they paid a marketer like $1 million to create that phrase, pro-choice, because they were looking for an accessible word to get women specifically to literally rally and contribute and donate and support eugenicists like Planned Parenthood and kill their babies. So, when you have the cardinal, and again, some of you guys who are listening aren't Catholic, so, we believe in the Pope, right? There's the Pope, which is the head of the Catholic Church, and then the cardinals are all around the world, and major cities, like there's one in Baltimore, and then there's one in D.C. The cardinals are kind of responsible for the Catholics within their jurisdiction. So they're all kind of like, they're both kind of like the official leaders, the political leaders, and they're also can be picked to be pope. Like that's where the pope comes from and ascends are from the cardinals from around the world. So that's a little sidetrack thing. But, the cardinal was saying, now that they are actively pushing for abortion and making Democrats choose, either you're allowed to be in the party, but if you want to be a Democrat, then you absolutely must be for abortion. That's how bad it is, especially in a place like New York, and it's turning into that, like here in Maryland. And funnily enough, Maryland was the Catholic colony. That's the eerie thing about what's happening in Maryland, where we were formed as a colony by, the Catholics. But anyway, so the other issue that they are losing Catholics on is, tax credits for when your children are going to parochial schools or, Christian schools, Catholic schools, etc. And that's the odd thing, too, that public education, there are people who, are adamant about sending their children to Catholic school, but many times now it's about affordability, where they don't feel like, their children can be, safe in public schools, or they need a better education than what's offered in public schools, but they want to send their child to, a smaller school, so they choose Catholic, but, maybe private schools are too expensive. So you're literally having the government say, well, you don't get a choice. Talk about choice. A woman's right to choose where she is allowed to send her children. And we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff, but we have to be mindful of what is going on. This stuff is so extreme. And the funny thing about all of this is that we have all been told that it's the Republican Party that we have to be afraid of. Just like Black people, Irish American people, were told for years and years and years and years and generations that the Republican Party was the bad party. I know for a fact that that was the big lie. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not saints, but the Democrat Party has gotten so extreme and we have to be careful.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.